These 7 signs can predict how long you will live after the age of 70. If you already have at least 4 or 5 of these signs, you can confidently say, you are likely to live a long life. These are not abstract tips, but findings from serious research conducted in the USA, Japan, and the Netherlands, where tens of thousands of elderly individuals have been studied over the years to identify what truly matters. Even if you're feeling tired or weak today, there's always a way to take a step toward becoming a better version of yourself. Because longevity is not a miracle or luck. It's the result of small, timely decisions. Stay tuned until the end, and let us know which signs you've noticed in yourself. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next video. The first sign, walking speed. This is a precise marker you might not be aware of. At first glance, what difference does it make how fast someone walks? After all, it could just be a habit, comfort, or mood. However, researchers from Harvard University and the University of Pittsburgh conducted extensive studies and arrived at an unexpected conclusion. Walking speed in older age is one of the most accurate indicators of how long you will live. Why is that? Because when you walk, even just around a room or down the street, several key systems are at work. The heart pumps blood, the muscles maintain balance, the brain coordinates actions, and the joints and bones provide stability. If a person walks slowly not because they want to enjoy the scenery, but because they can't walk any faster, that's already a signal that the body is operating at its limits and that recuperative reserves are diminished. If you can walk at least 4 meters in 4 seconds or less, it means your body is maintaining strength, coordination, and internal resources. This is a sign of vitality that often proves to be more reliable than blood tests and biomarkers. How can you check yourself? Measure out about 4 meters, roughly the distance from a door to a table, and walk it at your usual pace while timing yourself. If you complete it in under 4 seconds, that's a great sign. If it takes longer, don't worry. Think of it as an invitation to gently strengthen your body. Move a bit more, do some light exercises, and focus on building the muscles in your legs and back. It's important to understand that you shouldn't aim for speed for the sake of speed. Instead, strive for ease in your movement, ensuring that your steps are confident, steady, and free, because it's in that kind of step that life exists. And in life, as we know, the key is not to rush, but to move forward with strength at your own pace. Another simple test of hidden strength in an organization is grip strength. We rarely think about how important our hands are until we face challenges like opening a jar, buttoning up a shirt, or carrying a bag to the kitchen. But behind these movements lies not just convenience, but one of the most accurate indicators of our internal resources: grip strength. Research conducted in Canada, the UK, and South Korea has shown that individuals with a strong, confident grip have a significantly higher chance of living longer. This is especially true for women. As they age, they lose muscle mass more quickly, and a decline in grip strength is often linked to a general weakening of the body. A weak grip is not just a sign that your hand is a bit weaker. It's a signal that the muscles throughout your body are losing tone, which means your resistance to stress decreases, your metabolism slows down, your heart function is affected, and surprisingly, your mood worsens. Muscles play a significant role in regulating hormonal balance, especially after the age of 60. Checking your grip strength is simple. Try to open a tight jar or squeeze the hand of someone close to you. Did you feel confidence in your fingers and control? That's a good sign. If you already feel like your strength is diminishing, Start small. Use a soft exercise ball, squeeze a rubber ball, do some gardening, or try hand knitting. These activities are not just about using your hands, they're a workout for your health. Strong hands are not just about sports, they symbolize the ability to maintain independence, freedom of movement, and, importantly, the feeling of, I can manage. I have an inner support, even in my palms. Next, we will discuss another important test and why this simple skill reveals more than many medical examinations. At first glance, what's so special about getting up from a chair? It seems like such a simple, everyday gesture that we perform dozens of times a day. But if you take a closer look, how many people over the age of 70 can do this effortlessly, without support, without straining, and without groaning or leaning forward in fatigue? Experts refer to this test as the 5-time sit-to-stand test and invite you to try it. Stand up and sit down 5 times in a row without using your hands for assistance. If you can do this calmly, without losing your balance or feeling overly fatigued, it means that your muscles, joints, brain, and vestibular system are functioning well together. The challenge in this movement arises when muscle mass decreases and body control becomes less stable. If you find yourself swaying, searching for a point of support, or relying on arm rests or your hands, it could be a sign that your body is losing strength faster than it can recover. In the long run, this increases the risk of falls, fatigue, and even social isolation. Why is this so important? Because the ability to stand up independently is directly linked to one's level of physical independence. This, in turn, is one of the key factors that determine the quality of life in older age. A person who can stand up without assistance can prepare food, move a chair, exit public transport, and climb stairs on their own. This means they have the freedom to move, and consequently, the freedom to choose. Even if it's difficult for you to get up without using your hands right now, this is a skill that can be regained. Exercises for your leg and thigh muscles, balance training, and slow repetitions with support can yield results in just a few weeks. The key is consistency and care, because it's important not just to live, but to live on your own feet, feeling capable, steady, and connected to every movement. Next, we will discuss other factors that directly contribute to a longer life, which no medication can provide. Life can be unpredictable. Losses, illnesses, changes, and loneliness. It's impossible to go through decades without facing pain or injustice. However, women who live longer aren't defined by the absence of difficulties, but rather by how they perceive them. Research in the US and the Netherlands has shown that people with a positive outlook on life tend to live, on average, 7 to 10 years longer than those who often dwell in anxiety, anger, or resentment. It's not about magical thinking, it's about physiology. Chronic stress damages blood vessels, raises blood pressure, disrupts sleep, and suppresses the immune system. On the other hand, inner calm protects the heart, regulates hormones, and helps the body cope even with serious diagnoses. Optimism is not naivety or ignoring problems. It's the ability to say to yourself, yes, it's tough, but I've been through a lot before. I can handle this too. It's the skill of not blowing things out of proportion, seeing the good in small things, maintaining a sense of humor, and allowing yourself to enjoy even just a warm day or a cup of tea. And yes, you can learn this. One of the simplest ways is to keep a gratitude journal. Every evening, write down 3 things you are thankful for that day. You can do it mentally or aloud. The key is to do it regularly. Gradually, your brain learns to notice the good faster than the bad. and that changes everything. Another helpful practice is limiting negative news, engaging in warm conversations with people who offer support rather than complaints, and establishing simple rituals: prayer, breathing exercises, listening to your favorite music, and morning affirmations in front of the mirror. Today will be a good day, because I am in it. When the noise inside quiets down, clarity returns from the outside. You start to feel motivated to do things, to move, and to take care of yourself. And self-care is impossible without the most basic element, which many take for granted and don't pay enough attention to. Sleep is not just rest. It's a time when the body restores its strength, the brain processes information, the immune system strengthens, hormones balance out, and the nervous system gets a break. It's during the night, while we sleep, that essential life-sustaining processes occur. Research shows that elderly individuals who sleep 6 to 8 hours a night and wake up no more than 2 to 3 times are at a significantly lower risk of developing heart disease, diabetes, dementia, and depression. However, it's not just about the number of hours. The quality of sleep matters too. Do you fall asleep peacefully, wake up refreshed, and feel energized in the morning, or do you feel heavy and want to crawl back into bed? If you notice that your sleep has become restless, shallow, and frequently interrupted, it may be a sign that your body and nervous system are lacking support. A routine, warmth, quiet, and rituals. Simple but regular actions can be particularly effective in this situation. A warm bath or shower before bed, avoiding television and news for 2 hours before resting, listening to calming music or reading, breathing exercises, slowly inhale for a count of 4, exhale for 6, and of course going to bed at the same time each night without fluctuations between 10 p.m. and 1:30 a.m. Sleep is your nightly medicine, free and accessible. When your sleep is regulated, everything becomes easier. You gain energy, irritability decreases, mental fog lifts, and most importantly, you regain the feeling of being resourceful, focused, and in control of your life. Another important sign of longevity is if an elderly person engages in this practice. We tend to view everyday actions like making tea, tying our shoelaces, or sweeping the floor as mundane and almost invisible. However, it's in these simple tasks that we find a reliable indicator of how truly alive a person is, rather than just existing. Research conducted by Japanese gerontologists in a country known for having one of the highest life expectancies in the world has shown that individuals over 70 who continue to cook, clean, and shop for themselves tend to experience fewer illnesses, maintain mental clarity longer, and feel a sense of purpose. It's not because they lack assistance, but because they remain actively engaged in life, where their body, mind, and mood work in harmony. Check in with yourself. Can you tie your shoelaces, go to the pharmacy, and prepare lunch without feeling exhausted? If so, that's a fantastic sign. If you find that you need help, that's okay. Start by strengthening your ability to handle small daily tasks. Get out of bed without rushing, walk around your home without support, and prepare at least part of your meal. The key is to maintain the skill of doing something independently. Independence in daily life isn't about pride, it's about inner confidence. I still exist, I'm in my body, and I can influence how my day unfolds. Even small actions send a signal to the body. I'm alive, and to the brain, they set a task to move, think, remember, and manage. While support from family or social services is certainly a blessing, nothing can replace the feeling of, I did it. Maybe slowly, but I did it on my own. However, even independence can't replace one essential thing, without which life loses its meaning, and hoping for many more years ahead becomes futile. What could that be? Sometimes it feels like, as we age, our social circle inevitably shrinks. Family members call less often, friends visit less frequently, and a simple nod is all we get in response to a greeting at the store. A woman who once had so many people around her suddenly finds herself alone with the television and a kettle, trying not to show how desperately she misses the simplest human warmth. Studies have shown that loneliness after the age of 70 is not just sad, it's dangerous. It increases the risk of premature death by nearly 30%, raises the likelihood of cardiovascular diseases, weakens the immune system, and accelerates cognitive decline. Importantly, this isn't about the number of people in your life, but rather the quality of your connections. Even a single warm interaction each week, a conversation, a letter, a meeting, or a walk, can literally extend your life. So, if you have at least one person you can talk to heart, you are already in a safe zone. This could be a friend, sister, neighbor, daughter, volunteer, club member, or even an acquaintance from the internet. What matters is not how often you meet, but whether you feel, I am heard, I am missed, I am needed. If you don't have that connection yet, you can create one. Be the first to say hello. Send a text, join a club, call an acquaintance, offer to have tea on a park bench, strike up a conversation in line, or write a small note on a postcard. This is not a sign of weakness. It's the courage of a living soul that isn't afraid to be open. Social activity isn't about parties or being the center of attention. It's about staying open to the world, making room for dialogue, exchange, and smiles. It's through these simple connections that life continues to flow within you. Where there is interest, response, and warmth, there will always be movement, vitality, and inner light. If you recognize yourself in at least 4 of these traits, you are already in a zone of high life resilience. If, while reading these lines, you identified with at least 4 of these traits, that's not just good news, it's confirmation. You already possess a longevity system within you. Gentle, steady, unassuming, yet incredibly strong. Because strength at this age doesn't lie in speed or volume, it's in the deep ability to keep living when others have already given up. Even if you currently recognize only 23 signs, this is not a cause for concern, but rather an opportunity to start strengthening what you already have and to gradually add what you may be missing, step by step, without rushing, but with the understanding that you still have time, and it is in your hands. Each of these factors is simple and doesn't require heroic efforts. None of them are tied to money, expensive procedures, or complicated equipment. They are all about paying attention to yourself, your body, your rhythm, and your life. Share in the comments what you are already doing and what you might add to your daily routine. You can start with the smallest things: a slightly brisker walk, a single phone call, a cup of tea with a friend, thanking yourself for the day you've had, or going to bed a bit earlier, and tomorrow waking up with a little more clarity and a little more ease. A long life is not a coincidence. It's not a gift bestowed upon the chosen few. It's a journey you build every day, in the small things, in the silence, in the choice to live not by inertia, but with intention. And if you've made it to this point, it means you are already on your way. This journey is not a short one. May it be bright, vibrant, and uniquely yours.